Oh, hell yeah! And here we go. Alrighty. What is a NOVAtazz live stream without some hiccups in the beginning, right?
Well, yeah.
Alrighty. So, we're live. And sorry for me catching my breath. I had to deal with something right before we went live. Anywho, what is this? NOVAtazz Automotive Podcast, Season 3. Oh, Episode 3, Season 3. Oh, 3 years. 3 years we've
Yeah.
been doing the same live stream every Sunday night. Hey, Robert. By the way, did you know? You probably didn't know this, Big E. Robert made it to 1,000 subs. That's like
Congratulations.
500 subs in a week,
Mm.
I think. Pretty damn close.
Oh,
He was cooking it. He's at least 200 subs in a week,
mm-hmm.
which is that's pretty impressive for a sub 1,000
Yeah.
a sub 1,000 channel. But anywho, yeah, I've had some slight issues with my crafting table project, which is why there hasn't been any updates. Because technically, I could have posted updates. I could have posted failures.
Yeah. Fail compilation.
Yeah, it's I'm having a learning curve with the polyacrylic, is what it is. Okay, so I know this is not competition, but I am definitely slightly jealous. He did 1,000 subs in 3 months.
Dang.
Now, granted, I'm a how-to channel, and we weren't really concerned with subs when I started YouTube, and I'm kind of switching away from the how-to, but the how-to stuff definitely gets views. Just doesn't get a whole lot of interaction stuff. I thought somebody joined. I thought I heard the sound.
You do? Oh wait, no, it's Discord.
Yeah, no, it's just like a pop sound. So it's like a bloop. Yeah, that's a Facebook pop sound, slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but yeah, that's impressive. I mean, you definitely deserve a pat on the back for that shit. And he's got some freaking cool stuff. He has like a whole bunch of older cars that are around his area that are just kind of like, just that whole forgotten in the field, neglected stuff. And at least that most of what I've seen is of his channel is that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't help but sit there and watch. It's one of those things you're like, what is he gonna find around the next freaking stack of cars? Because it's not like they're just like, some of them are kind of just laid out there all flat, but some of them are stacked on top of each other. So you're like,
Yeah.
car on car on car, and it's like you can't see everything that's there because it's hidden behind stuff. But it's pretty cool. I still think my favorite one was the Suburban or whatever. I think it was a Jimmy. That was on his one. Hold on, I gotta mute this tab so that way it doesn't make noise. Okay, there we go. I had Facebook tab still open. Speaking of, I need to open our cloud bot. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whew. All right. Anyway, so, Streamlabs now has a logo maker.
Cool.
I don't know, but I think my go to dashboard. Thank you. I'm pretty sure my logo is. I don't know. I don't have any complaints about my logo. Where is my CloudBot at?
Probably in the back somewhere.
Donation count. Widgets, themes. There it is. CloudBot. Okay. Yeah, you definitely gotta get some stickers made. You gotta come up with a logo, man. I saw the Left 4 Dead, Grant from Straight Six Fan created Left 4 Dead's new logo, and that one's actually pretty cool looking. Yeah, that was quite a long freaking stream last week. I just got carried away. I mean, I was about ready to get off and call it a night, and then a bunch of you guys joined back in. I guess after, was it DD Speed Shop or Coastal Auto Reaction had a video out, And after that was over, everybody piled into mine because I was still live.
Mm-hmm.
And we just lost track of time. And next thing we know, it was freaking like, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Blew right through my freaking after party freaking time period where me, Big E, and whoever else is up on cam ends up hanging out for a little while. Just blew right through that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's that thing. As long as you guys are, as long as I don't have anything first thing to do Monday morning, and you guys are keeping chat and everything else active, and we're having a good time up here on, I don't know if it's a stage. Is it technically a stage if there's no actual stage?
I don't think
Up
so.
on set? I don't know what to call this because I mean we don't. It's not like any other typical broadcast. There's no stage.
Yeah.
There's no set. Well, I mean, I guess you can consider this a set. Because I mean it is.
Yeah, you got a set.
Well, yeah, I'm up here live talking on freaking in front of a bunch of people. Biggie, I want you to go into your settings and see if there's an HD option for your webcam.
I'm pretty sure I have it set to the highest option.
Through StreamYard?
720p.
Oh, it just is fuzzy. Maybe it's just because you're out of focus on the thingy-maboober.
It doesn't look that out of focus to me. I mean, if I go over to the YouTube video, it's
a little fuzzy.
I don't know. I look compressed.
Yeah, something. You look a little funky.
Well, there's nothing else I can do on my end.
It just might be lighting.
I don't think it's lighting because when I look at the StreamYard tab, it's fine. I mean, I don't look like. I mean, it doesn't look like I'm looking in a mirror, but
yeah, maybe it's an internet connection. Maybe it's just from my end.
Yeah, it might be compressing it from me to you, and then YouTube compressing the video doesn't help either.
No. Whatever you're playing, it made a noise, and I thought it was...
whatever I'm playing. I ain't playing nothing.
No, don't go big. Alright, so as you guys all know, people that are in here normally in the very beginning, the beginning of our live stream struggles a little bit because we all get freaking back into the throw of things and got to get a conversation going and everything else. So, we can do... Well, you don't have a channel. We can do a channel and update on mine. Okay, so we all know I have my throttle body from Holly for the EFI system. I did get in. It's just out of reach. Let me see if I can reach it. I did get in the in-tank fuel pump, which I'm not making look very glorious at all. But did get in the in-tank fuel pump for the Firebird, for the Trans Am. It comes with that. Comes with the other end of this pigtail for the hardest to go into the factory wiring. Still waiting on the distributor, and I still have to order the timing controller and the coil pack. I was waiting for a deposit from YouTube before I did that, which normally will be probably in a couple days, somewhere around the 20th. So once I get that money in, then I will order those other two parts. I mean, I wasn't really worried about it because that distributor's still on back order, and I really can't do anything until I have that anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, it's freaking cold as fuck outside.
Yeah.
And it's not like the car's already in the garage, so the first thing I would have to do is get it into the garage.
Unbury it from the snow.
Yeah. Well, there's no real snow out here right now, just cold. But as far as the truck, yeah, I haven't gone to the junkyard because it's freaking cold and has been snowing and raining. Like I said, no current actual accumulation of snow outside. No. So, thank you, Robert. He said he put the link to my channel in his description of his latest video.
Cool.
Thank you. Someday we'll get you up here on camera, if you want to be.
One of these days.
When I climbed uphill both ways to go to school.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we didn't worry about subs and likes. It was only views. Not kidding. True story. Oh, but yeah. So that's the TA. The TA is waiting for more parts. The truck is waiting for my fat ass to get out to the junkyard to go get the part that I need for that. Because we already know I have the braided hose lines over here, which by the way they're not cheap.
I'm sure they're not.
It was over $100, I think, to get those. No, was it over 100? Yeah, I think it was like $114 for me to get both of those lines made.
Jeez.
So yeah, welcome aboard, Jason. It's a good ship. Yeah, I don't. It's not a good ship. It's just it's a ship, but it's not a good one.
It's there.
Remember, hey, one of my I can honestly say 2 of my cars have round headlights. Kind of. They just may not have headlights in them.
Semantics.
Right? Now this guy back here, no, he has square headlights. The TA has square headlights. But he has 2 of them. They have a single. They have a high and a low.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wish they would both come on when like it's high. Like when the high beams come on, that they both would come on.
Yeah, but certain states have certain requirements. Like in Pennsylvania, if you're using... Wait, no.
Is it Pennsylvania?
No, I was thinking of something else. In Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to have your high beams and your fog lights on.
No,
but that's
you're
not
not allowed to have high beams and fog lights on. That's a given.
Yeah, but a lot of cars won't have the high beams and the low beams on at the same time. I'm sure in your car you could probably bypass it.
There has been an ad on YouTube that I have seen, where it's a thing that you put in your wiring harness that will allow you to turn all your lights on, all the lights on at the same time.
Dang.
So like if you have a bunch of light pods and your headlights, it would turn the highs and lows and all the light pods on all at the same time.
It's a lot of light.
Robert says he ordered EFI 3 weeks ago. Says it'll be here tomorrow. Well, the thing is I didn't order like a full kit. I ordered each part separately because I didn't like what was in the kit. So when I ordered it from Holly, I could have gotten what they call a master kit. But their master kit, number one, wasn't on sale. And their master kit includes a inline fuel pump, which means buying a bunch of filters and different things, which I think I still need to pick up a filter, but I could pick that up at like O'Reilly's for like $5. But it includes a bunch of filters, the inline pump, which means then you have to find somewhere to hide it and everything else, and it just... I also would have to have bought a fuel regulator then. That isn't included in the kit. I would have to buy a fuel regulator.
Yeah.
And I would also have to run a return line back to the tank. With the setup that I went with, which I think I put back in the box. Yes, I did. The setup I went to with, there's a filter that goes right in the tank. All right, so I don't technically need another filter. I'm probably going to put one in line anyway.
Yeah.
The fuel pump itself has a built-in regulator, so I don't have to buy a regulator.
Cool.
It also has a built-in return line because it's right in the tank. So if it overpressures, it just dumps fuel back into the tank right there where it's at. So I don't have to worry about any of that. And I can even use my existing fuel line. I just have to replace any rubber line with EFI line. So my existing hard line, which runs all the way from the tank all the way up to the front of the car, I don't have to replace any of that. It's all good. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I just had to replace my rubber line. And considering EFI line is pretty expensive, I think it's like $15 a foot.
Oh, damn.
So
if you had to run it from the back to the front of the car, that'd be like $150 almost.
Now, granted, they include some line in with the kit if I were to got the master kit. But I wouldn't be just running it from the tank to the front of the car, but I had to run it from the tank to the front of the car and then back to the tank.
Yeah.
Plus, I'd also have to drop my tank anyway to modify it to be able to install a return line. So, I mean, this just makes more sense. It's a little more costly up front as far as the part itself, but I think it makes up for it for how much it would have cost me to run lines and everything else for the other way. Plus, this is a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it fits right in with where my stock one went. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. It's already pre-set up, ready to go, drop in, and that's it. And then, like I said, so I got the EFI separately, which the whole kit comes with everything I need to put the EFI on the car, minus fuel stuff. Then I got the separate fuel thingy. And then I was going to just leave it at that, and then I'm thinking, well, I threw on a really cheap, like $70 distributor on it to get it running when I found out the original distributor was junk.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, if I'm going to go this far, I might as well put the distributor on it that the EFI can sit there and control timing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have to worry about that. But then I didn't realize I needed a timing controller. I thought the timing controller was in the EFI unit, but it's not.
No.
The EFI unit can control the timing controller, but it's not a timing controller. But yeah, so by the way, I hear some. I'm gonna stop for a second here and catch up with chat. Like I said, Jason dropped in. Hello, Jason. I also saw Coastal Auto Reaction has stopped in. We had a pretty good live stream the other night that I was in there with. In fact, I think it was last night. But they're asking about Discord is. Discord originally, in fact, actually, Big E could probably tell me what Discord is better than I can. So you want to tell them what Discord is?
Discord is pretty much...
It's an online chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's online chat. You can like call people on there, but you don't like use like a phone number or anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Google Hangouts or AOL, like the AOL old school dial-up like chat thing. It's kind of a lot of things at once. It gained its ground with the gaming community for being able to chat while you're gaming. And it is basically kind of cross-platformed to other things. Like, you know, we use it for. The plan was to be able to use it for the NOVAtazz community to be able to chit chat with each other, especially since YouTube has gotten rid of messaging. So it's a way of being able to chat with each other without having to necessarily give up your actual like Facebook or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know if that link is any good anymore. I'd have to find out. Hank the Mean Man has popped in. Welcome aboard. Yeah, kind of like MSN Messenger. Ish. A little bit more involved in that. But yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's not. Yeah, you can have like a bunch of people talking in there on one, what's called a server, which would be like, you know, yeah, just got a group of people. You can have like all kinds of like channels where
like different subjects.
Like for example, one of my friend's brother, he runs one, and he's got oh shit. I accidentally just joined the chat room.
Oh, what, on Discord?
Yeah, whoopsie. But I didn't mean to. But they're all playing Escape from Tarkov anyway. But you can have like game rooms dedicated to particular games, particular subjects. You can have voice channels for particular subjects, chat channels for particular subjects.
So everybody's not like if you're only joining in for a particular subject, you don't have to sit there and deal with all of the chitter chatter and the other subjects or every subject being in one chat room. So like my Discord has a main chat room for like channel discussion stuff, but I also have a gaming channel on that chat room for when we were going to have like gaming where you guys could all join us if you guys had the same game and we could all chit chat and hang out together. But it never really took off for my stuff because I'm too small. Don't have a big enough audience that's into the same games that I'm into and different things. But yeah, you know, it's the groundwork is there if I ever wanted to expand it more.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Biggie use it a lot when we're playing like SnowRunner or War Thunder.
We use it like all the time when we're playing.
Yeah,
like,
whenever we're playing, because I mean, you can have like if we were playing Xbox games on our computer, you could technically use the Xbox chat party feature, but I find it so buggy and it's so echoey that it makes it really hard to play the video game and chit chat. Whereas Discord will mute, for the most part, will mute your game you're playing. So you can actually sit there and actually enjoy your game without having to worry about it echoing in through the chat.
Well, I mean, it's the Xbox thing. It's used for people like headset like this, not you with your one earbud hanging out of your ear.
Well, I mean,
and
when I'm playing games, I don't
at
have that in. The only reason I have it in is for live streaming, so that way Streamlabs doesn't pick up the StreamYard chat.
Yeah.
So it like right now, StreamYard, which is what we're using to do our group video, it has its own audio channel. And so the computer sees it as its own audio channel. But if I had it playing through the speakers, the mic that I'm using would pick it up. And then you would hear it double. You would hear that echo. Oh, Jason's already out? Okay, see you later, Jason. Thank you for joining. But yeah, I mean, we use it a lot, mainly for gaming. But I figured it would be a great place for the NOVAtazz community, if it ever got to that point, to have a place to be able to chit-chat with each other.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the other thing is, not unfortunately, but I have a lot of older followers, I would say my age and around there, that unless you're into gaming as well, probably haven't been well versed in Discord. So yeah. Koso, I've been playing video games since I was freaking old enough to be able to hold a controller. So, and I have ADHD, so video games really does. I can't sit down and watch TV. I can't. I never have been able to. And that's also part of why I like YouTube, except for I can't watch the longer videos sometimes. Longer videos I tend to leave on in the background when I'm doing something else. Just because I don't have to worry about it changing to something different.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the longer ones, I'll watch that. Or if it's something where their content is pretty much the same from video to video, like that Bow Time Gaming or whatever? Is that yeah. He does a lot of War Thunder stuff, but his games kind of have the same, his videos all kind of have the same feel. So you can have it on in the background. You can enjoy listening to it, like, peripherally. If you can consider ears peripheral hearing, maybe, without having to actually pay attention to it to be able to get what's going on. At Robert's Garage, I played Nintendo back in 1988 as well. I had an original NES with probably well over 30 titles, which was a lot back then. They didn't have a whole... I mean, they had a lot of titles, but not like today.
There was a lot of games, but yeah, not like there was today where, you know, what do I have over here? I have a whole freaking stack of... and my hard drive. Yeah, let's move that first. Yeah, I just dropped something.
My stuff's downstairs, so I can't
I got a whole stack of games right here, and this ain't even all of it.
You've already seen my leaning tower of games downstairs. I have a whole DVD rack full of games, dating all the way back to... I have actual PlayStation 1 games up here in this room somewhere. Or did I take them downstairs? I might have taken them downstairs.
I don't have PlayStation 1 games, but I have...
Super NES.
A PlayStation 2 game.
His last console was a Super NES, and it was Mortal Kombat. You know what? If that's a game to have, that's the game to have. If I had a copy of I never really. I went from Nintendo to PlayStation. I didn't use the Cube. I didn't use N64. I didn't use the Super NES.
The N64 was like the next gold standard.
All right. Well, like I said, so I didn't have any of those. I went straight from NES. Actually, no, I lie. We had a handheld system in between the PlayStation and the NES. It was the Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear.
Oh.
We had that, and then we got the PlayStation. And then the next
funny
system,
story.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish.
Oh, then after that, I ended up getting my own PS2 and then my own Xbox, and obviously I've went Xbox ever since then. I never had the PS3 or the PS4. But go ahead.
All right, hang on, let me get some numbers real quick. Aha. So the processor in that the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1, like, just as like a frame of reference, me and your generous host computer here turbo about what, like 4.3, 4.4 gigahertz.
Yeah,
gigahertz.
4.3 gigahertz, yeah. And I've got what, 30. I have 12 core, 24 threads.
All right. Well, the threads don't matter. I'm just trying to get like a what is it?
A line of basis.
Order of magnitude kind of here. So those are gigahertz. So 1 gigahertz would be, I think, 1 million times per second.
Okay.
You think of it like a sine wave. The PlayStation 1's processor ran at 33.8 megahertz. That's a whole order of magnitude less.
So it's 1,000 less. Well, gigahertz is 1,000 times, just about 1,000 times bigger than a megahertz.
Hang on a second.
Yes and no. Like I said, I didn't necessarily spend all my days inside playing video games. It was more there as another form of entertainment, not the form of entertainment. We spent a lot of our time outside as well, even before I was 15. But we lived in a suburban area, so there wasn't you couldn't go too far outside before you end up somewhere where your parents didn't want you to be. So you was either hang out in our neighborhood, but if it was raining, you really didn't have a whole lot to freaking do outside when it was raining in my area. I didn't live on a farm. I didn't live, not at that age. I did when I was younger, but at that age I didn't live on a farm, and things like that. So when it was rainy or whatever, or too hot outside, we would be inside for a little while playing games. I would say no more than like an hour or two a day, and it was normally in the evenings, like after dinner. So, it wasn't the form of entertainment. I mean, even now, geez, I play video games now from like 10 or 11 o'clock at night after my kid goes to bed until maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. It's not like I'm up here all day.
Yeah. I got a better way to word this. All right, so our computer's running at 4.3 gigahertz converted to megahertz, that's 4,300, just one order of magnitude less. So the PlayStation 1's processor ran at 33.8 megahertz, not 3,300, just 33.8. The Nintendo 64's was almost 3 times faster than that.
Wow, I didn't realize the N64. I mean, because the games on the N64, they didn't necessarily... They were more kiddish, more cartoonish.
Well, that was just because they had the ROM cartridge. It's not like they had the spinning CD and the whole 9 yards, yeah. But there was also 0 moving parts, so you could drop a TV on the damn thing and it would still work.
Right. All right, see you later, Coastal Auto Reaction. Which, his name's Luke, by the way. But, catch you guys later. This might actually be a slow night, unless a bunch of people start dropping in.
from what I've seen from
Hold
like
on.
teardowns on
Before
the
we
Nintendo
get too far
64,
in,
there's like so much metal in there.
let's give away some points here before so loyalty points. Because there's so few people in here, we're gonna give 2,000.
I went to type points, just like, oh, we're getting points, and I typed in pints on accident.
How many pints we getting? I want a pint.
Yeah, we're getting 2,000 pints.
I am down to one non-hard drink beverage. I am down to one Angry Orchard.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Speaking of alcoholic beverages, you ever forget you have one?
Yeah. I found a Yingling in the back of my fridge a couple months ago. That was like, oh my god, I got one Yingling left.
I remember this.
That you got that at Christmas last year, didn't you?
Yeah, you say last year like it was like 365 days ago. It was just call it Christmas, goddamn it.
I thought it was the Christmas before that. Oops.
No, it was Christmas. The last Christmas.
Last Christmas, I gave you my... Yeah. No. No
14% alcohol by volume.
Oh, I found my... Remember I was talking about the little metal models?
Yeah.
I found it. It was downstairs.
Oh,
These are pretty cool. They're like photo etched.
Yeah, I know. I got mine right here.
Ah, so you got a tank.
Yes.
But I didn't realize... I mean, I kind of realized, but I didn't realize how detailed they got and how much, like, you can't build one of these. If you can see, this one's I'm trying not to get the light on it, but still get it in focus. But like those spinny thingies, those are actually the tires.
Yeah.
You can't build one of these with just your hands.
Yeah, we need, like, what do they say?
A press brake would be like a little bench top press brake would be nice. You can't even build it with what they say in here. Don't even try to kid yourself. I follow a couple people on YouTube now that build these, and yeah, it's a little more involved than the instructions lead you to believe. Even for the simple kits.
Oh.
Yeah, don't ever think that these kits here will let you build them with nothing but like maybe a pair of pliers or something. But yeah, of course, Streamlabs is now spamming the chat. I wish I had I have yet to have a bottle of Fireball.
Oh.
I've had Fireball. I've had Fireball at the bar and shit, but I've never.
But you never bought one. I've seen that. Well, they probably had it for like 12 ever, but Crown Royal's got a.
It's just a cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah, but they have like a apple flavored one, and that genuinely interests me.
I have not bought. I have always wanted to buy a bottle of Crown Royal as well, because I love the packaging. I don't know if
you
they
get
still do it. Do they still get the little like
little purple
felt
bag
sack?
Yeah,
you still get the felt sack. Now my
I don't know if you do,
got
but
one. My stepfather got one, and I had the box for that one forever because I love the shiny purple on it. But the bottle had its own like cradle it sat in. It had like two like plastic crystal-esque pillars that came up with like some fake gold and shit, and then it had like a swinging basket, and you would put the bottle in and it would tilt back just slightly, and it had its own like little, like, I don't know, cradle. It was pretty cool. But I had the box for that for a while, because I liked it and used to keep stuff in it. Probably why I want to paint my car not that purple, because that's a really purpley purple, but I definitely still want to paint my car that I don't even think that midnight purple is the correct purple that I'm going for, because it is kind of
midnight purple is it would still look purple in the dark.
It's a black base with a purple pearl.
Yeah, so at night it would look black, but when the light hits it would just
black base with a purple pearl on top of it, and then you use a black candy clear.
Oh.
And then you put the black candy clear on top of the purple pearl, and then you put regular clear over top of that.
Yeah.
But you use just enough black. You use just enough black clear to you can't see the purple pearl anymore.
Mm-hmm.
just enough, just to hide the purple pearl. Because as soon as light hits it, it'll bounce through that black clear, reflect off the purple, and then the purple will come up through the black.
Yeah.
So it'll look black until light hits it, and then wherever the light reflects back to you will appear purple.
Mm-hmm.
Melts in your mind, not in your glass. That's funny. I had a bottle of Jaeger that I used to keep in the freezer. I no longer keep it in the freezer because I don't have freezer space for it. But that bottle is close to let's see. 7 years ago, it was 8 or 9 years old.
Oh my god.
And I still have it, and it's still good, and it is so freaking smooth. It is potent and smooth.
Well, yeah, it's Jaeger.
Well, yeah, but no, like, okay, I had a fresh bottle of Jaeger, okay, and I had this aged Jaeger. We'll call it aged Jaeger because that's technically what it is. And the difference between the two was night and day. They did not taste. They tasted like the same drink, but the way they went down was different.
Well, I mean, the one you've had for longer has been.
It's nice and smooth.
Sitting.
It's refined. It's nice and smooth.
Yeah, refined. There you go.
It's a little more potent. And apparently, I see a notification that I have got a notification from. Oh no, never mind. It's not a notification to me. Okay, never mind. It wasn't to me. I just saw a notification up on my tab up here. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I only drink it on special occasions because otherwise I'll just drink the other ones because, you know, a new bottle of Jaeger isn't too much, and unless I'm looking for something specific. Now, what I wish I could get my hands on right now is a true apple pie moonshine.
Good luck.
Not an Everclear apple juice cinnamon stick jobber.
Mm-hmm.
Like true boiled apples, true shine,
straight up ethanol.
Yeah, because that stuff, like moonshine, you have to sip it. You have to sip this stuff as well. The stuff that you can make that you see like the recipes on Facebook were real popular like a couple years ago. You can drink that shit like shots because it's diluted.
Yeah, because you got the juice and the cider and everything in there.
Use cider or apple juice, and you're using Everclear, which is already diluted moonshine.
It's not like super diluted, but I mean, it doesn't help that you're putting it in.
If you've had true North Carolina, Tennessee whiskey, well, it is a whiskey, but moonshine. It's just a clear whiskey. It's a very pure, clear whiskey. And then you've had Everclear. You will see why people that drink true whiskey turn their noses up to Everclear. Well, a true moonshine turn their nose up to Everclear. Everclear is great if you've never had true moonshine and that was your first experience to moonshine. You know, it's kind of like drinking a Coors Light to like a Guinness, or you know.
Yeah, I get
it. There are different levels.
Well, most people don't have the the land to be able to do that without getting busted, or the lawyer to be able to prove, hey, they weren't making it with the intent to sell.
At this day and age, it's a little bit harder to get busted, only because they're not actively looking for it. But you can distill it right in your basement.
I mean, you
it's
could, but
if it explodes. But
you probably don't want to be doing it in a confined area.
No, it's more of an explosion fire risk at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there are people out there that will brew wine and beer and some hard alcohol in their basement.
I mean, technically, what you could do is you could just take Everclear and just distill the alcohol out of it. Alcohol boils at 82 or 92 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
when it starts getting above 92 degrees Fahrenheit, that's all the alcohol you could stop.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I like a true moonshine over the Everclear. I mean, even like there's even actually there's legal moonshine now besides Everclear. You see them popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
Where they have like the strawberry the strawberry moonshine and whatever. But even that, it still has to be, it's still regulated, so it can only be at such a high
It can only be so strong.
Yeah, before it's not legal. But I mean, anybody who drinks moonshine anyway will know that you don't drink it like you do a regular alcohol anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've told this story before, the time that my buddies tried to like get me to double shot moonshine. Now, that was not my first, bout with moonshine, and their thing is they thought that I was like a moonshine virgin. You know what I mean? And they thought that I was going to throw back the shot, and then I was going to immediately evacuate the shot back out. And they were sitting there with a lighter ready to light it.
Oh my god, that is disgusting.
Well, it's basically just make a giant fireball. You wouldn't.
The smell that would make is
it would smell like burning alcohol.
Bile and
no, because it wouldn't have made it down that far.
Oh, I see.
As soon as it hit the back of your throat, most people will spit it back out. Like they'll chug it back.
You weren't like in an enclosed room, were you, by chance?
Yes, we were in the kitchen.
Oh my god, that is reckless and irresponsible.
Well, yeah, but that was my friends at the time too.
Good point.
I mean, what friends aren't good if they're not a little reckless and when you're in your mid to early 20s. I mean, that's the kind of MO at that point. But yeah, so I surprised the crap out of them because it went down, didn't come back up. It was a double shot. It wasn't a single shot. It was a double shot. Straight moonshine, like the good shit. Went down. I'm like, well, can I have my $20 now? So they handed me the $20. We're like kind of disappointed, and I was like, so, got anything else to drink? So and I was like, well, I'm going back over. I got to finish I was playing Call of Duty at the time. Went back over, started playing for a little while, and I went and was playing my game for a little while. And about half hour, 40 minutes into my game, like I was doing good. I was good for me. I was like a kill or two per life, right? It sounds like 2.0.
It's a positive KD.
Right. It was a positive. It was a decent KD. And then all of a sudden I was dead. Like reaction time gone to shit. Couldn't figure out why. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? I was doing good. I went and stood up. As soon as I stood up, I could literally feel all the alcohol hit me at once. So it was like I went from stone cold sober to stone cold drunk in less than 10 seconds.
Oh my god.
Just like it just hit me all at once. And I just started busting out laughing, right? And so I messaged my buddies because they lived right next door, right? They were less than 10 feet away from me on the other side of a wall. And I messaged them. I said, by the way, it all just hit me. And It was like 35, 40 minutes later. And I could hear them bust up laughing over there. So I make my way all the way through my house because you had to go all the way. I was in the very front room. So I had to go all the way down the hallway. The hallway is like, I don't know, 20, 25 feet to get to my kitchen. Then I had to go out my kitchen, across my porch, down a half flight of stairs, across the mini landing. And this is outside now. And then up another half flight of stairs into their back door for their kitchen, which is where they were all hanging out. And I was like, okay, I'm drunk now. What else you got to drink? And so we proceeded to just freaking drink the rest of the night. I was already drunk.
What's the point in stopping?
Exactly. I didn't want to freaking sit over there and get sober now. So we just ended up freaking drinking. And, that's the first time I had this thing. It was like pink milk, like strawberry milk, but it was liquor. And I swear to God, it tasted just
Oh,
like strawberry milk.
Tequila Rose.
I don't know. It was fucking awesome. I loved it. I love strawberry milk. But yeah, it was the first time I ever had that, and they had some other different stuff that they were drinking over there, and we just partied the rest of the night. I think I went to bed at like 4 o'clock that morning.
In school, we could only get like, you get like the little half pints of milk. We could get 3 different kinds. There was just normal milk, chocolate, and strawberry.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 4 and rotten.
Oh yeah, you always got the chance of the curdled one.
Yeah, because they never checked the goddamn dates. Actually,
or you get the one that was left out. Somebody realized it was left out, threw it in a fucking cart in the crate, and by then it was already too late.
Someone I know, he actually he didn't check. He just opened it and took a sip, and it was rotten. So he marched straight to the principal's office and looked him straight in the face. He's like, "Mr. Principal, what the hell is this?" And he just dumps it out, and he got his lunch free for the week.
Well, yeah, when it comes out in gloops, it's a little bad.
Yeah, when it comes out looking like cottage cheese and sour cream and...
Technically, it's kind of what it is at that point.
Oh, it's sour, all right.
Oh my god. So yeah, the good old days, right? When I had local friends. But yeah, geez, I haven't had fun like that in too long. Like I said, mainly because I haven't had any friends that were close enough by to be able to do that with. Because I don't like drinking and driving. Obviously, I don't recommend drinking and driving, period. But I also don't like going to a bar unless I know I have enough time to stop drinking, and have some soda or water for a while before they close.
Yeah, so then you can
sober up. Or if I can at least walk home from the bar.
Yeah, but I don't imagine there's many bars within walking distance to your place.
In Tamaqua, when I lived in Tamaqua, there's like freaking 10 bars in Tamaqua. And Tamaqua, you can walk from one end to the other in 20 minutes.
Well, it's the same here. Like, I was like a 5 or 10 minute drive away from Walmart, but it's like a half hour walk.
Walk.
Yeah, I know. I could walk across this town in half an hour.
Yeah. I have three Walmarts within 20 minutes drive from me, but nothing closer.
I have one, thank Christ.
There's some Boyers, which are like a family-owned grocery store. I have a few of those that are within walking distance. I wouldn't say I have one that I would say was in walking distance because, even though it's only like a 5-minute drive from here to the town that I used to live in.
Yeah,
I would not suggest walking because it's a dark road, no lights. No side, no shoulder to speak
sidewalk, shoulder, no nothing.
All dark woods on both sides with maybe the odd coal mine on the one side of the road here and there. Definitely not something that I would suggest walking.
It's a good road to get murdered on.
Yeah, at night. During the day, you could walk it. But definitely would not suggest walking it at night. Especially since most of my clothes are dark.
Yeah.
It's not something I would recommend if you'd like to keep living your life. Then again, if you're drunk enough, you might not feel the end coming, but...
Yeah.
Being drunk enough might be the reason why the end came to begin with.
Touché. Or in certain situations, being drunk enough might keep the end from coming.
Oh yeah, if you ragdoll enough. Yeah, I would have to say tonight is a slow night. We had 10 for a little bit right around 9:30. We do have 4 likes though. I don't think I have a banner running either. Let's see. Did you walk to school or carry your lunch? We did carry our lunch. I did have bagged lunch. I used to take lunch, and we had the infamous smashed PB&J by the time you got to school. And my mom was not one of the ones that knew how to put peanut butter on both sides of the bread with the jelly in the middle. So you would have half soggy sandwich, also squished sandwich.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know if you knew how to do this, but the trick to do is you put peanut butter on both sides of the bread. It acts like a gasket, right? It acts like a sealant. It seals the bread.
Oh, here we go with the mechanics similes already.
Anyway, so you you put the peanut butter on both sides of the bread, and then you put the jelly on one side on top of the peanut butter, and then when you put the other piece of bread on, and you just kind of squish around the edges just a little bit, and it seals the jelly into a pocket in between the two slices of bread, so it doesn't actually touch the bread. And then you don't end up with a soggy sandwich unless it gets squished by the time you get to school.
Unfortunate.
Right. Yeah. Your mom ever do Tupperware containers instead of plastic baggies, you didn't end up with squish sandwich, but we were,
unless you're in an extreme circumstance.
I was not the rich kids that had like the sandwich sized Tupperware containers. So
yeah,
my shit went in plastic baggies in a brown paper lunch bag. You know, where the apple always somehow ended up on top of your sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Which then pounded it to shit by the time you got to lunch.
Yeah.
You had paper thin sandwich. Yeah, like I absolutely got to the point to where I hated PB&J sandwiches by the time I graduated. Absolutely hated them. And the thing is it's not really fair because I really like a peanut butter and jelly. Mainly peanut butter and strawberry jam. Unless or like a Welch's grape jam. I'm not a fan of jelly.
Nah, me either.
Like
jam all the way. You know what really pisses me off? My store, my Walmart, they used to carry the
sandwich.
Yeah, you know what jams my sandwich? But no, they used to have like the squeeze bottles of like actual jam, and I was like, oh, this is my jam.
Right.
And then they stopped selling it. I'm like, what the hell? This was a great idea. Why aren't you funding this?
Because it sucks. It doesn't work.
It worked a lot better than, having to struggle to open up the jar, take out a butter knife and stick the knife in there, put the jelly on the bread, and then rinse it off so you could do the same thing with the peanut butter.
Don't butter knife your jam. You freaking you tablespoon your jam.
I ain't dirtying 4 freaking dishes for one goddamn sandwich.
It's one knife, one spoon, and then that's it, because you use a paper plate or a napkin.
Or it's one knife, one paper plate, and you just...
Yeah, I know. You could be lazy like that. Or you just go out and you go get the freaking peanut butter and jelly already in the same container. I think they call that goober.
Yeah, the Smuckers made that. Speaking of which, do you know they make... they're involved in a lot more than just peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more.
I think they're owned by either Nabisco or...
No, they're not owned. They buy out other companies. Smuckers is its own company, but they bought out they bought out the company that makes Rachel Ray's dog food. There's a couple of coffee companies, Pillsbury Frosting.
Mm-hmm.
That's Smuckers now.
Have you ever seen all the companies like Nabisco and them freaking own?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's insane.
Do you know what Nabisco stands for?
No, not off the top of my head.
National Biscuit Company.
Oh, that's probably what they originally did.
Yeah.
Until they got big enough to swallow everything around them.
Yeah. Or like, no, we're sick of just biscuits. we're buying your Oreos, we're buying your Cheez-Its, we're buying your everything.
I have a box of Cheez-Its downstairs.
I mean, that's just see,
Jess gets smart. When Jess wants a snack that I won't touch, she'll get reduced fat. Ever had reduced fat Cheez-Its?
It's like diet Cheez-Its.
Yes, they're like chalk crackers. They're horrible. And so what she'll do is she'll go out and go buy those because she knows that I won't touch them. She bought soda at one point, and she bought diet soda because she knows that I will not touch a diet soda because it has aspartame in it.
Nobody should touch diet soda. That's lies.
I can understand it if you literally cannot have sugar. Okay, you're diabetic and you still like the taste of soda and you can't have sugar. At that point, though, I would probably end up just foregoing soda.
Yeah, like The real stuff or bust.
Because I made a stupid decision. Okay, so the other day, they have those new watermelon, the new watermelon Mountain Dews.
They what?
They have a watermelon Mountain Dew, which I think I have one.
I'm not sure if I like the sound of that.
No, I have a live wire up here. That's what I was drinking the other day, which is the orange watermelon. Oh, orange Mountain Dew. It is really good. I like it. It is not as good as their mystery Mountain Dew, the Voodoo or whatever they were doing a little while ago. That literally straight up tasted like Skittles.
Oh, that just sounds like you're just drinking diabetes at that point.
Oh my god, it was like literally just like drinking Skittles. I was in
you probably like sitting over there like looking at like nutritional facts and it says sugar. Yes.
Okay. So after Halloween, Echo, Alexa, stop. Thank you. This box was full of Skittles.
Oh my god, and you still have some left.
I still have some. But that was their big bag of freaking like Skittles from Halloween. I went the day after Halloween and bought like the big bag because they were like 50% off.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing you gotta love about Walmart. After all that stuff, they put on clearance and get rid of it.
The stuff that they think that they can resell next year, they'll just package it back up and wait a year and resell it the next year. I've gotten used to their game plan. There's some of their stuff they will literally, you won't see it go on sale after Christmas. Not because it's all gone, but because they'll just resell it next year.
Yeah, they'll just ship it back to
that too. Because yeah, you'll see it. You'll go get some of the stuff that they first put out at the beginning of the next holiday, and you'll look at it and you'll see that it was manufactured and packaged the year before.
Yeah,
it's not fresh.
Speaking of corporate Walmart bullshit.
Windmill cookies.
Trying to think, what are those?
I don't remember windmill cookies.
Well, anyway, the big buckets of the UTZ or UTZ cheese balls, whatever the hell they are. Well, when I was still working at Walmart, we had a manager who shall remain unnamed, but they were a horrible person and a horrible manager, and they managed to order somehow like 10 pallets of them.
Nobody eats those anyway.
I mean, you see like a couple of people like they'll like throw. You see like I don't know, like 2 sales in a day.
Yeah, because
you know how many come on a pallet?
Are not that good.
We actually did the math. It is a freaking lot. We were hanging on to those things for so goddamn long. Like there was one corner where like all the powerlifting equipment was like
you just had a couple pallets just sitting back there just with these things sitting on it.
It's not a couple, like this whole corner that usually had like the scissor lift, the power jack, and the walking stacker, which is one of those forklifts that you walk behind. Mm-hmm. Everything would just usually go over there, but they couldn't put them over there because of the goddamn pallets of cheese balls. I don't know why
somebody accidentally hit the wrong button when they probably only meant to hit 1 and they put a 0 behind it.
That's the only thing that makes sense. But knowing that this person's track record, nothing can be
thought they liked cheese balls and that they would sell.
Yeah, that's probably the way it was.
The problem is they didn't buy 10 pallets of Jack's cheese curls. If they would have bought 10 pallets of Jack's cheese curls, they would have sold incredibly fast.
Probably, but they bought 10 pallets of the freaking. No, I don't think so.
God. That's the Bachman Pretzel company that I used to work for. Makes them. They have some, but we have sales that specifically put that we have like those little like I don't know 15 or 20 foot trailers, like the little half trailers.
Yeah.
The cargo containers.
Mm-hmm.
We had a person down in Hawaii that would buy a shipment from us. Jack's cheese curls, sourdough specials, and some other stuff. Just for it to be shipped all the way to Hawaii.
Oh my God.
Personal order. I think it was a order for a hotel. A hotel would order.
Makes sense.
And they were specifically requested. And we would fill this up like maybe once every 2 weeks. And we'd send this shipping container all the way down to Florida, down to Hawaii. I know there is Jack's Cheese Curls up in New York because we used to ship them up to New York. They aren't necessarily like all the way across the United States.
Yeah, it's
Wegmans,
probably like a
if you have a Wegmans,
Northeast kind of thing.
yeah, if you have a Wegmans, Wegmans branded cheese curls are Jack's Cheese Curls. Wegmans is another. I think it's a lower New York, upper Pennsylvania store.
Probably.
But they're a family owned company.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all of their cheese curl products was through Bachman's. But they're night and day because I mean, when you think of cheese curls, who do you think of? As far as like a good cheese curl?
No one.
No one. You don't have hers? Because hers has that little.
I've never really paid attention to cheese curls.
Oh wow. Skid pullers, pallet jacks or skid pullers. We called them fork trucks or hand trucks.
Well, see, to me, a hand truck is one of those things that you'd use to carry something like a 55-gallon drum.
No, that would be a hand truck or a dolly.
Yeah.
But like the little pump jack pallet, pump jack pallet pullers, we would call them a hand jack or a pump like a pump fork. We had a bunch of different names for them, but yeah, pallet jack I think would be.
Usually we would just call it a jack.
Yeah.
Like someone would be like, "Oh, your truck's here, get a jack." I'd be like, "God damn it! I'm supposed to get stuff done, but I can't no more."
Mm. Well, we have a jack.
And you don't get stuff done, and they hold it against you.
Oh, we ended up even using them to haul around the freaking the junk bins. We had like big, I would say almost dumpster size bins on big casters that we would throw like the old dough and like pretzels that didn't make it all the way down the line. Basically any edible waste.
Yeah.
Edible being very loosely edible, because if you've ever seen dough that's sat out for a couple days, it kind of ferments.
Speaking of dough, all right, so at the store, at first it was just like if you come across something that's not fit for sale, you just throw it away, write up a ticket, and put it somewhere. But after a while, people were like, "Oh, well, people aren't doing it right, so now you just got to throw everything in the bin and someone else will take care of it." Well, I had a thing of yeast rolls. Yeast rolls.
Yeah.
They were frozen.
All right.
What happens to stuff that's frozen when it sets out? It thaws.
It thaws out and then spoils.
It rises. So I was told to put this thing of yeast rolls in this tote. And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And the person was like, "Yeah, it'll be fine." The next day, like the whole freaking thing was full of yeast dough.
Well, what do you think pretzels are made out of? But yeast and dough also ferments, and if you've ever smelled fermented dough, it has a distinct smell you will never forget. But anyway, these bins, they would regularly weigh about 1,000 pounds, even if they were only about half full.
Yeah.
You had to push these things all the way across. It was not smooth concrete anymore. You got to remember, this business was there since like the early 1900s.
You don't have to like talk to me about that. I've had to pull literally 1 ton of ice.
Yeah.
On one of these trucks, and if you didn't get a good one, forget about it.
Well, we didn't have dollies. These were just bins on solid metal casters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucked. I'll tell you what, that's the reason why I was 130 pounds and could basically almost... I had no problems bench pressing a transmission up into place. I cannot do that today. But yeah, I was, constantly, when I worked there, you were fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the worst job I had there was cleaning out the grease trap.
Ew.
Because the grease trap right outside of the Jack's cheese curl room, the cheese room, all of the that was what separated the oil and the cheese from the drain water. So at the end of the night, after I got done washing out the cheese room, because that cheese would get everywhere, it'd get all over the walls, everywhere, because you make the cheese and then they pipe it into this drum that had like a corkscrew in the center of it.
Yeah.
And that would they would have spray nozzles in there. They would spray this cheese mixture onto the cheese curls as they tumbled through this barrel. Well, all that dust from the curls before they got coated in cheese would also get coated in cheese and would fly off and stick to everything. So you'd have to wash down the whole room. But you would then have to go down and take you ever like skim the oil or whatever off the top of, like, when you make a turkey to use it for other stuff? You skim that top layer of
I can imagine
off. Like if you're making gravy and stuff, sometimes you'll skim that stuff off the top.
Yeah.
But anyway, so on top, floating on this water, was that oil cheese mixture and possibly dough and other stuff that got whatever trapped in that grease trap. You would have to skim it off the top of the water, and it would smell so rank, because it's we got fermented dough plus all of that freaking oil and cheese that's been now bad. It was just so gross. I mean, you'd almost gag just skimming it, and it would be like that thick sitting on top of the water.
Ew.
And you'd have to skim it all off till it was just nothing but water.
Gross.
Yep. And then you would dump that in the edible bin that you would then empty into the freaking...
Edible?
Well, it's edible because we used to send it to the farms for pig slop.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a difference between what a pig will eat and what a human will eat. I mean, a pig will eat a human.
Edible for humans. And technically,
pigs will eat anything you put in front of them.
Technically, you could eat it because you eat a pig after they've eaten it. It's been filtered.
I mean, true, but you're not filtered through the pig. Oh my god! How dare you make me hear that with my own ears?
Right? But anyway, I've actually been watching some animal processing videos, but not like animal. I mean, I've watched a few like factory animal processing videos on YouTube recently. The way that they pull freaking skin off of a cow is just wow.
When you first said animal processing, I don't know why, but my first thought was like, a pig like hands up against the wall getting patted down.
No, I mean basically, except for it's dead by now. They will.
No, I meant like jail and getting processed and booked and.
Them big fat torches that they use for like doing road work and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like on the wand with a big freaking end, and it just got this giant. They use that to get the hair off the pigs and shit. Yeah, they just wave that torch wand over top of the pig, and it literally will score the skin and the hair, which they can then take a knife and literally just like scrape off the outside of the pig. Mm-hmm. The other way that they do it is extremely boiling water. They'll dump that because that'll also loosen the skin off of the rest of the carcass, and then they'll do the same thing. They'll scrape it with a blade to get it off. But I lived on a farm, so that stuff doesn't bother me. When I was little, I lived on a farm. Let me clarify that, because when I was like 9 to adult teenager, I didn't live on that farm. But anyway, lived on a pig farm when I was a kid. So that stuff doesn't really bother me. But yeah, so watching somebody butcher a pig or a deer or something like that doesn't really bother me, except for when they don't drain all of the blood first, then that does kind of bother me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's been drained properly and all that, no, it doesn't. It's not that bad.
I mean, at that point, it's
just meat.
Corpse.
It's meat.
Yeah. I mean, I remember way back when they just realized that there was like people like horribly abusing animals. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but that made my stomach turn. Like, how could it's still alive? How could I don't understand how people could do the stuff that they were doing to those animals.
I do not condone animal abuse when an animal is alive. Well, I don't confuse animal abuse when it's dead.
I wouldn't condone it at all, dead or alive.
But yeah, I mean, I lived on a pig farm. Those pigs were treated like freaking gold, even after death.
Because they're to the farm.
Well, they are. They're and the thing is if you've ever taken care of cows or pigs, they're fucking smart. They're smarter than your dog. You know, and the thing is if you ever seen a cow or a pig or whatever actually enjoying being alive, they're quite playful sometimes. Don't piss off a pig, especially a freaking full grown sow. I mean, I'm not like the thing is you see the pigs that they butcher and stuff like that where they're like maybe 4.5 feet long. A full grown sow can be 6 to 8 feet long and weigh several thousand pounds.
Oh, I believe it.
And we used to have this shady catwalk that ran above the pens. Now, granted, with this time I was like 3 or 4 years old, right, when I lived on that farm, and we used to have to feed them up on top. We would have this catwalk that ran down the center of the pens, so you would have pens on both sides of the catwalk. And if the certain few particular older females, they had really nasty temperaments. They did not like you above them.
Yeah.
And they would literally charge the big, like, think of like telephone poles, maybe a little bit bigger, but they ran all the way up through the center of the barn to the roof.
Yeah.
Right through the middle of all these pens, and that's what the catwalk is attached to. They would charge these poles to try to knock you off of the catwalk. 3 years old on top of these freaking catwalks with these freaking sows charging the fucking the poles. If I fell in, I would not have made it out before somebody could get to me.
Yeah.
They would have been trampled or whatever, because, you know, obviously these ones were not very happy that I was there. But yeah, I mean, that was Mennonite Pig Farm, Pennsylvania. They didn't have fancy equipment like most of the farmers you go to now. They'll have, I didn't even realize this, they have Wi-Fi bands on every single animal that track how much it's eating and all kinds of, and its heart rate and all of that shit.
Wow, that's wild.
Oh yeah, and it's all centered into a, and so like they know when each pig goes up to the feeding trough to go feed. In fact, it will actually dispense food for a particular pig depending on what pig comes up to go to that feeding trough. So, like, let's say you have a pig that needs to bulk up more because, you know, it's underweight. They may have a different mix that drops into the bowl for that pig coming up to the bowl.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I was watching YouTube the other day. Like, they didn't have that shit when I was a kid.
Well, no. Naturally.
They have automatic freaking, like, the lanes that go down the center of the barn. They have automatic things that will actually sweep out the stall. So it pushes as a ram that pushes all of the crap out of the stall into the middle, and then it retracts, and it does that for each stall. And then it has a different one that goes down through the center and pushes all of that waste from all of the stalls out the end of the barn. All automatic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll have an automatic hay dumper that will dump fresh hay into each stall.
Wow.
Like, wow. I mean, you used to have workers do that, and it would take them all day. And now they can do it several times a day. Just, I mean, granted, it's great for the animals. Because you don't have to worry about them standing in freaking dirty litter for, you know, all day. But it's just like the automation is just baffled me. I think my favorite thing that I've seen now is, you ever heard of a cow brush?
No.
Yeah, think of it, you know, like those brushes that they have in automatic car washes that clean your car.
Oh yeah. They just like go up and rub up against it.
Yeah, well, it spins. It's like a big brush.
Yeah,
it spins. Yeah. And they rub up against it kind of like a cat, because we have one similar to that for our cats, but it's like a big hoop and they walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they have them for cows. Cows love it. They go like freaking ape shit over this thing. But yeah, it's just the farming from when I was a kid to the way it is now is so different. The other funny thing is, like, most people here, like up this way, they're all John Deere. You know, like John Deere this, John Deere that, and then the green and yellow. The farm that I used to live on, it was all, I think it's International, the red and black ones. I think that's International. But they had all International tractors when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Had a gut spill on the freeway a few years ago here. Wasn't pretty.
No, it doesn't sound very
No.
appealing.
I was watching a YouTube video the other day of a pig trying to escape out the back of a fucking farm truck. You almost kind of want to root for the pig because you know exactly where the pig's going. Get your freedom now because in 24 hours you're going to become bacon. But what time is it?
10:20.
10:20. I don't know. As much as I appreciate Pilot being in here and hanging out, I don't know how much longer we're going to be on if we only have me, you, and Pilot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to let Pilot down because I'm sure we're, Pilot's entertainment for the evening. I also don't want to assume I'm Pilot's only entertainment for the evening, but I could talk about my lovely experience with polyacrylic.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
Oh, I'm so frustrated. I have so Pilot, you have not been on Instagram or TikTok because if you were, you would have seen the table that I'm doing. It is gorgeous. If I can get the finish to lay down correctly. I think you were here last week. I had most of it together last week. I don't know if did I have the black on it last week by the time we had it live, or did I do that Monday?
I think it was Monday.
But anyway, doing a crafting table, and the bottom of it is red walnut. I think it's red walnut, and the top is what they're calling onyx, which is just black. But I'm doing a matte polyacrylic finish on the top of it, and I am having the damnedest time getting it to lay down right. I mean, I can share. Biggie, you still have the pictures from last week, I think, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I think you do. I'll just send them again. It's just easier. I won't send all of them. Okay, so we'll send this one, and I'll send this one,
And this one, and that one, and these ones.
that one. Oh, I did resurface it today and put another coat on it, but I can still see the lines from where it didn't lay right the first time.
Oh crap!
And so I'm really, I'm just gonna have to sand. I think I'm gonna have to sand it all the way back down.
Oof.
So here, I also put the ones up of the crappy surface of it. I got most of the hairs and the bubbles out of it, but no, it's still, I can't get it to lay flat. So Biggie's gonna pull up some of the pictures. Here in a hot minute. Oh, there it is. Okay, so anyway, we're actually gonna get rid of Biggie here for a hot minute. So this is my pile of parts, which actually I had to go remake 4 of the 4 legs you see there are too short. I ended up having to make them longer. But then I pre-made it and pre-assembled it before we glued it all together, which would be, I think, the next picture. Maybe.
Sorry, what?
Next picture.
Oh, sorry.
Nope. This is not pre-assembled. This is actually, it's held together with dowels and screws. So this is actually the dowels and the screws with wood plugs over top of the screws, so you can't see them. Next picture. Slideshow man.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so this is actually it, partially pre-assembled. So that's the basic subframe. That's the base, partially pre-assembled.
I think a lot of these we went over already.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of those we went over last week, but I don't know if you saw them. This is more plugging over top of screws. So there's 6 screws that hold each of the legs on this side. I think there's 5 on the other side because it's 2 inches longer. But yeah, so there's again more plugs over top of the screws. So it's not, I could have put this together and just left all the screws exposed and everything else. It probably would have taken me a lot less time, because each one of those has to have a dowel glued in, and then that glue has to dry. Then I have to cut the dowel off, then sand it back down flush with everything else. And yeah, it's a lot more work. But we can go to the next one, I think, which I think is, again, which is it fully assembled. That's it, finished assembled as far as the base is concerned. Everything is glued up, sanded. It's ready for me to stain it. I think the next one is another picture of the same thing. Yep. All right. So that's it with the tabletop put on top of it. Then this is the bottom stained. So there's the bottom is stained, and then the next couple.
I think I have that same broom.
Yeah, it's just what is it called, Liberman or Libby or whatever. Anyway, so this is
It's called Red Broom.
Yeah, this is the bottom stained with all of the plugs and everything. So these are just beauty shots. The next couple of ones. Yes, agreed. The finished product does look a lot better. It's the same way I did my entertainment unit a while back. All right, so this is the tabletop pre-assembled. I have some, I don't know what you want to call them, but I have some things in the bottom to screw the base to the top, but so that way I could screw the top down to the base with this, well, without having the screws exposed. So this is all the plugs in the table as they were drying, and then I sanded them all. I cut them down and sanded them off, which I think is the next picture.
Give me a hot second.
Yep. So this is the tabletop all sanded down, ready for stain. So all the holes are plugged. Actually, the 2 in the center, the very center, there is nothing under those screws. Nothing under those 2 plugs. They are there just for symmetry reasons alone. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I drilled and screwed them down literally just to make it so that way it appeared the same as the rest of the table. So this is with the black onyx, no clear on it at this point. It is strictly just the stain. Which this table absolutely looks, it's not a solid black. Like, you know, you would expect it to be like just solid black, but it's not a paint. It's a stain, so the wood grain still shows through.
Yeah.
So the next one, I think, is just another shot of this before stain. Yeah, it's not a very big picture, though.
No, very much not so.
It's a shame, though, because that's actually a really pretty shot. Can you make it bigger?
I cannot.
Okay. Oh, that one's sorry. If you saw that one on my social media, it would look a lot better. The next one, I think, is a video. Did the videos come through?
No, not on this.
I think I sent videos. Actually, I sent a lot more because you're not seeing any of the screw up pictures either.
Oh, those were.
No, they were on Discord, but I also sent them through here.
Hang on a second.
You might have to back out and go back in.
Hang on a second.
Because there should be one video of just after I put on the first coat of clear. which is when it really looked nice. I had ended up going too thick with the clear, thinking that I was going to build it up like you would a regular paint. Like, you know, your first coat's pretty thin,
Yeah.
and then it ended up being very not good because it never leveled.
Yeah, hang on.
I guess this poly is a quick dry, so it never actually it doesn't have a chance to level out. Oh, here, let me pop that open. Okay, have you gotten into it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one should be the video, I think. Or is it?
Come on.
No, it's this picture. There you go. Oh, that's it?
Well, there's still... Hide that shit.
It's not coming. It's kind of actually... It's very pixelated.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that.
No, there's nothing. It's just...
So,
it is. You can see the grain pretty good there. There's some of the screw-ups where they didn't lay right. That actually was a spot where I was trying to level out a bubble, and it ended up eating it all the way down through, and then I tried to fill it back in with like a bubble of poly. I did end up getting that to sand out smooth though. After I sanded that bubble down flat and it came out smooth, but I still have those ripples in the middle of the table.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one I think is just more issues I'm having with the top coat. Yep, there's the bubbles. They're like little pinhole bubbles. They suck. But you can also see my brush strokes in there too, which is horrible. You can go to the next one if you want to. I think that's a piece of hair.
That is, yep. Checks out.
I think that's a piece of hair. Yep, got a piece of hair in it. But yeah, so I have to sand it all the way back down. And it will look really good when it's done. That video did not do it justice because it was pixelated, but it is gorgeous. I just got to get it to lay down right. So I might switch to a different product. I don't know. Oh my god, very funny pilot. It's actually literally just freaking standard fucking plywood and 2x4s. I think it's white pine. But yeah. Oh, it sucks because it's a lot of time and effort and work, and I got a lot more time and effort and work to get it back down to being able to put another layer of clear on top of it. It's frustrating. As Jess says, I've been spending a lot of time in my hobbit hole. Technically, it's probably considered more of a hobby hole. Boom. Oh. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap up for the night. We'll catch you guys again next week. And made up for last week's super long episode by this week's kind of short episode. But alrighty. So we'll see you guys next week. And hopefully we'll have more a better discussion and a little more lively show for you guys next week. So
yeah,
until
hopefully.
then, be safe. Have a good night. And we'll catch you in a week.